So as we were discussing, you can also add more labels on the application container. Alien.logs dot dollar name is equal to dollar path. The variable name is the log name and can only contain 0 to 9, A to Z, both in uppercase and lowercase characters, and hyphens. The variable path is the path of the logs to be collected. The path must specify the file and cannot only be a directory. Wildcards are supported as part of the file name. For example, \var, \log, \he.log, and \var, \log, \star. Log are both correct. However, \var, \log is not valid because the path cannot be only a directory. stdout is a special value indicating standard output. alien.logs.$name.format, the log format. Currently the following formats are supported, which are none unformatted plain text. JOSN is JSON format and one complete JSON string in each line, and finally the last one is CSV format. So alien.logs.$name.tags hyphen is the additional field added when the logs are reported. The format is K1 is equal to V1, K2 is equal to V2. The key value pairs are separated by commas. For example, alien.logs.access.tags is equal to $name is equal to hello, comma, stage is equal to test. Then the logs reported to the storage will contain the name field and the stage field. If Elasticsearch is used for log storage, the target tag will have a special meaning, indicating the corresponding index in Elasticsearch. Log Pilot extension. For most users, the existing features of Log Pilot can meet their requirements. If Log Pilot contain meet your requirement, you can submit an issue at GitHub /alien container service /log pilot, or directly change the codes and then raise the PR. Let's have a word on health check of Docker container. In a distributed system, the service availability is frequently checked by using the health check to the measure of avoiding exception when being called by other services. Docker introduced native health check implementation after version 1.12. The document introduces the health check of Docker containers. Process level health check checks whether or not the process is alive, and the simplest health check for containers. So Docker daemon automatically monitors the P1 D1 process in the container. If the Docker run command specifies the restart policy, closed containers can be restarted automatically according to the restart policy. In many real scenarios, process level health check alone is far from enough. For example, a container process is still alive but cannot respond to user request because of application deadlock. Such problem cannot be discovered by monitoring the process. Now, Kubernetes provides liveness and readiness probes to check the health status of the container and its service respectively. Alibaba Cloud Container Service also provides a similar service health check. Okay, coming on to Docker native health check capability. Docker introduced the native health check implementation after version 1.12. The health check configuration of an application can be declared in the Docker file. The health check instructions declare the health check command that can be used to determine whether or not the service status of the container master process is normal. This can reflect the real status of the container. Health check instruction format. Health check format is command hyphen the command that sets the container health check. Health check none if the basic image has a health check instruction. This line can be used to block it. However, you have to note a point The health check can only appear once in a Docker file. If multiple health check instructions exist, only the last one takes effect. Okay, images built by using Docker files that contains health check instructions can check the health status when instantiating Docker container. Health check is started automatically after container is started. Health check supports the following options: interval, which is the time interval between two health checks. The default value is 30 seconds. Timeout, the timeout for running the health check command. The health check fails if the timeout is exceeded. The default value is 30 seconds. Retries, number of times the container status is regarded as unhealthy if the health check fails continuously for a specified number of times. So the default value is 3. Start period, the initialization time of application startup. Failed health check during this startup is not counted. The default value is 0 seconds. The command after health check, cmd option, follow the same format as entry point. In either the shell or the executive format, the return value of the command determines the success or failure of the health check. 0 is success, 1 is failure, 2 is reserved value and do not use. Now after a container is started, the initial status is starting. Docker engine waits for a period of interval to regularly run the health check command. If the return value of a single check is not 0 or the running lasts longer than the specified timeout time, the health check is considered as failed. If the health check fails continuously for retries time, the health status changes to unhealthy. If the health check succeeds once, Docker changes the container status back to healthy. Docker engine issues a health status event if the container health status changes. Assume that an image is a simple web service. To enable health check to determine whether or not its web service is working normally, curl can be used to help with the determination and the health check instruction in its Docker file. And it can be written as follows, as you can see on the screen now. You can use Docker PS after several seconds. The Elasticsearch container changes from the starting status to a healthy status. Another method is to directly specify the health check policy in the Docker run command. To help troubleshoot the issue, all output results of health check commands are stored in health status and you can view them with the Docker inspect command. Use the following commands to retrieve the health check results of the past 5 containers. Or we can use this command as well. The simple result is as follows, as you can see on the screen now. Generally, we recommend that you declare the corresponding health check policy in the Docker file to facilitate the use of images, because the application developer know better about the application SLA. The application deployment and operation and maintenance personnel can adjust the health check policies as needed for deployment scenarios by using the command line parameters and REST API. The Docker community provides some instance images that contain health check. Obtain them in the following project, which is in GitHub and /Docker library /health check. However, a point to note there is Alibaba Cloud Container Service supports Docker native health check and Alibaba Cloud Extension health check. Currently, Kubernetes does not support Docker native health check. Okay, now coming on to one-click deployment of Docker data center. Let's have a word about DDC, Docker Data Center. It's an enterprise level container management and service management package solution platform released by Docker. DDC is composed of the following 3 components: Docker Universal Control Plane, which is a set of graphical management interfaces. Second, Docker Trusted Registry, a trusted Docker image repository. And third, Docker Engine Enterprise Edition, the Docker Engine providing technical support. As you can see on the on your screen right now, DDC is counterpart of Docker Cloud, another online product of the Docker company. However, DDC primarily target enterprise users for internal deployment. You can register your own Docker image to DTR and use UCP to manage the entire Docker cluster. Both components provide web interfaces. You must purchase a license to use DDC, but the Docker company provides a free license for a 1-month trial. You can download the trial license from the Docker official website after signing up. Okay, now let's have a glance of DDC deployment architecture. As you can see on the screen, in the preceding basic architecture figure, controller primarily runs the UCP component, DTR runs the DTR component, and worker primarily runs your own Docker service. The entire DDC environment is deployed on the VPC, which is Virtual Private Cloud, and all Elastic Compute Services instances are in the same security group. Every component provides a server level load balancer instance for external access. Operation and maintenance are implemented by using the jump server. To enhance the availability, the entire DDC environment is deployed for high availability, meaning at least 2 controllers and 2 DTRs exist. Okay, let's have a word about one-click deployment of DDC. You can use Alibaba Cloud Resource Orchestration Service ROS to deploy DDC in one click at the following link. In the preceding orchestration template, DDC is deployed in the region China North 2 by default. To change the region for deployment, click back in the lower right corner of the page, select your region and then click Next. Complete the configuration, click Create to deploy a set of DDC. Okay, let's talk about DDC access. So after creating DDC successfully by using ROS, you can enter the ROS stack management page by clicking stack management in the left side navigation pane. Find the created stack and then click the stack name or manage at the right of the stack. The stack overview page appears as you can see on the screen. You can view the addresses used to log onto UCP and DTR in the output section. Enter the UCP address in the browser and the UCP access page appears. Enter the administrator account and password created when installing UCP and the system prompts you to import the license file. Import the license file and then enter the UCP control interface.